Kristle Williams with Keller Williams Realty, Kristle Williams Realty. So I'm here with Dennis Fields, and Dennis is with Guaranteed Rate. So we want to talk a little bit to our buyers today. So Dennis, we have both had situations where we are getting ready to close, and the buyer just does something totally off the wall that we have told them before, do this or don't do this, and they've done it anyway, and they have not been able to close.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts that they can consider throughout the process to make sure that it actually closes.
Right. So while we're going through the process, I like to talk about do's and don'ts from the three main areas that will impact whether your loan will close. And so that's going to be credit, employment, and assets. And so as far as credit is concerned, definitely while going through the process, you don't want to either open any accounts or close any accounts.
Okay.
And so the reason why that's important is because closing an account can actually have a negative impact on somebody's credit score.
Okay.
And even though as a lender, when we pull credit, that credit is good for 120 days.
Okay.
At the very end of the process, they're going to go back to the credit company and say, hey, has this person opened up any new accounts that we need to account for in our debt to income ratio?
Okay.
And so if they go through that process and they see there are any changes, then that can negatively impact the loan process. And so definitely don't close any accounts, don't open any accounts, especially if you're going through the process, you're closing around a holiday. We understand there's going to be some great sales going on, and where you can get some discounts on the appliances and the furniture. Just wait until the ink's dry at the attorney's office, because that can have a negative impact on the loan.
Okay.
As far as employment, if there are any changes in your employment, let your lender know.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about changing jobs, let them know, because if you're going from let's say a W-2 position that you've been there for a couple of years to a brand new position in a new field, that can have a negative impact on your loan.
Okay.
If you have any changes in the way that you get paid at your current employer, let your lender know.
Okay.
Because if you're going from being an hourly employee to now a 1099 employee, even though it's with the same employer, that changes the way that the lender has to calculate the income. And so definitely let them know if there are any changes in your employment. And then as far as assets are concerned, as a lender, we have to source all of the funds in the transaction. So try to avoid moving money between multiple accounts, because it sometimes can become difficult to source that. And try to avoid opening and closing accounts while we're going through the process as well.
Okay.
Because if you close one account and move all the money to the new account, a lot of times what people do is they take their money out in cash and then they deposit it into the new bank account.
Right.
And cash is a big no-no in the process, and so sometimes it becomes difficult to source that. So definitely try to avoid all of those things while you're going through the process.
So if they had cash, what would be your advice? Because how far back are you going to look at their bank history?
So depending upon the program that we're using, it's going to be either a 30 or 60-day look back.
Okay.
And so if they have a large amount of cash, they can either move that money into the bank, before they start the process, or they can maybe use those funds to pay their bills and just let their deposits from their job accumulate in their bank account.
Okay, well that's a great suggestion. So if you have any questions or you want us to go through the process with you, or you're thinking about purchasing a home, please give us a call. We would love to help you. Again, Kristle Williams with Kristle Williams Realty and Dennis Fields with Guaranteed Rate. We look forward to helping you.